Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe. One of the perks of hitting that subscribe button is that when I go live, you can comment, we can chat. I'll be doing a premiere. So if a video is ever a premiere, so no one gets confused, it's pre-recorded, but I'm live in the comments talking to you. It's kind of nice. We can watch the video together. I can answer your questions. We can chit chat. It's a way of just us, socializing and getting to know each other. Please check out membership. I have a lot coming up this month. So I am offering a psychic development seminar this month. In the community tab is the list of all of the lives. And as always, if you can't make a live, it gets uploaded and you can watch it on demand. Check out my website too if you ever want a reading. That's the only way you can get a reading with me. I won't be soliciting anyone. I know sometimes people impersonate me, but it's not me, okay? So it's DianeAquarius.com. I am meeting with my YouTube agent this week. He's going to be giving me some new tips and tricks, I guess. We will see. It's always exciting to do that. He's very nice. My birthday is coming up. And I'm a January baby. If you're a January baby, say hi in the comments. Let me see all my fellow January babies out there. I saw some of you in the comments that are my birthday twins, because I put in the comments how to find your card for your tarot card, that is, for 2023. And some of you are my birthday twin. So that's coming up. And Michael said he's planning a day of surprises for me and to wear a dress, because he knows I like wearing dresses. So he knows I like going places where we can dress up and that sort of thing. So I don't know where it is, what we're doing. And then for Valentine's, we're going to a masquerade ball. I've never been to a masquerade ball. I am very excited. And lastly, before I begin, all my clients, if you had a reading in December, obviously I had major surgery. I had to reschedule. So you should have received 2 emails from me. One, a confirmation email, and then a second one, me just saying, hi, I sent you a confirmation email, make sure you got it. If you didn't get it, check your spam and your junk folder and that sort of thing, because everybody got 2, okay? All right, so what are we going to be talking about today? Well, what the news is calling the crisis at the border, and I think we can't do that without looking at South America. And also Mexico too, for that matter. So I'm going to be doing a reading on all of that. If you've seen my 2023 predictions, I did say, Peru was going to have a lot of difficulties this year. I'm sure, like me, you saw on the news how all those American tourists got stranded there in the middle of all the political upheaval. So, it's a tough time for a lot of South America. I'm also going to look at Venezuela because several of you have asked me to do so. And it's been quite some time. I actually can't remember the last time I read on Venezuela. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'm sure, as you may or may not know, the Supreme Court declined the GOP's wish to take up that public charge issue. That was something that 45 had instated that made it harder for immigrants to obtain legal status if they used any sort of government sort of services. So like food stamps, anything to do with housing, Medicaid, that sort of thing. And shockingly, the Supreme Court said, no, we're not going to re-up it. And Biden had already dismissed it. So that's no longer going to be an issue. This week, as I'm sure most of you know for watching the news, Biden met with Mexican leaders, the Mexican president, alongside with Justin Trudeau. And it was to talk about a couple of different things. One, obviously immigration, but the other is the fentanyl crisis. Because, and you're saying like, well, why is Justin Trudeau there? Well, if you're not Canadian, then you probably may not know. The fentanyl is going from the US up to Canada. Of course, it's not the only way that it's getting into our countries, but it is the biggest way. And what I thought was interesting when I was doing a little bit of research before I did this reading is that the majority of the fentanyl comes from 2 particular cartels. They know like who's doing this. The Sinaloa cartel and Jalisco cartel. And so, I'm going to take a look at that, see if that's going to improve. And just by the way, did everyone see that El Chapo's son got arrested? I thought that was a good sign. You know, he's not exactly a good player, let's say. So, all right, let's see what the cards have to say about the immigration crisis. All right, I'm going to give them a real nice shuffle here. And of course, as always, you know, you can do this along with me. You know, you can pull out your tarot decks, tell me what you're getting in the comments. It's interesting how so often we get the same exact things. I find that interesting. So, okay, so Spirit, what do we need to know about all these people at our border and what's going on and the future of all that? Oh, so I had a card jump. So here's my card that jumped. So the card of drastic change. Okay, here's the Knight of Wands. So that tells me that things are not going to be staying the same. Something is going to be changing in the situation. There's a lot of research to do. When you get the Hermit, it oftentimes implies that there's more to learn. There's more that needs to be studied. There's more that needs to be understood. And so this is a complex issue. It's not one that was created overnight, so it's not going to be solved overnight. And so I think by at least Biden going and talking to leaders and going to the border, it's a step in the right direction. Because obviously the problem is the countries themselves that the people are coming from. And I know that I'm leaving out Haiti and Cuba because that would be like another video all to itself, right? Because they're having their own trials and tribulations, aren't they? But there's more for our leaders to learn all around. I think a lot of the immigrants are feeling stabbed in the back. And I also suspect that there are a lot of Americans who are very angry about this, right? You know, especially those who are living on the border. They're angry, they're frustrated. You know, and it's a terrible situation, right? It's an awful situation no matter how you look at it. My heart goes out to all these people that are fleeing their countries because nobody willingly just gives up everything that they own and everything that they know, everyone that they know. That's how bad their lives have gotten. And so they're not in a good way. And so they're trying to do it. And, you know, and I think a lot of times, first of all, I think they don't know about how to do it legally, or they feel like they just can't. I'm not making excuses for them because obviously something has to change, right? This isn't good for our country, but it's also not good for these people either. And so we need to find an actual solution. And I kind of like what comes up, oh wow, for the solutions here. So first of all, these cards, both of them, have families. And isn't it interesting that these are both 10 cards? And in tarot, and when you apply numerology to tarot, 10s mean a completion. So this means that this is not going to last forever. This is not going to go on for eternity, okay? This gives me a lot of hope. These families are united, reunited. They're together. The card of peace, love, and happiness, 10 of cups, 10 of pentacles. This is the only card that has 3 generations, the grandparents, the parents, the grandkids, even the 2 dogs. Everybody's there. This also implies that there's going to be money put into this issue. Okay, so that gives me a lot of hope that we're going to resolve this and we will find something that will work for everyone. I also wanted to mention at the end of the video, the 3-card pull that I'm going to do is on which archangel wants to work with you right now. I know a lot of you like working with the angels, so I thought I would add that in. I also thought we would take a look at the fentanyl crisis because that is indeed an issue. You know, honestly, I've had it twice in my life due to surgery. It's something that they will give you when you're waking up from surgery. And I don't like it. And I actually asked them the second time when I just recently had surgery. I had surgery back in my 30s for a similar issue, actually. But it doesn't feel good to take it. And so this time I actually asked them to not give it to me and to put it in my chart. And they assured me that it wouldn't be administered to me. And indeed it was. And so now I'm going to be having a chat with the president of the hospital. Because we should have some control over what goes into our own bodies. I really do believe that. I didn't ask for fentanyl. I actually specifically said I don't want it. I don't see how it can be addictive. It makes you so sick. I couldn't even walk with it. Never mind, think straight. And then they have to give me something for nausea. It's bad. I don't. Well, all I can think of is you must have to keep taking it and get to that point where you no longer feel the negative side effects. But so let's take a look at the fentanyl crisis that we're having. Unfortunately, what I'm getting psychically is that it's going to get worse before it gets better. So we're in for some tough times this year. Okay. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. So there's a lot of emotions with this. You know, the Queen of Cups is like the Queen of Emotions, right? And so this is something that's really affecting us as a country. And also Canada and probably other countries, I'm sure. It's a problem. You know, families are being torn apart. Children are losing their parents. This is a very emotionally charged issue. Look at what the obstacle is. The obstacle is the lovers. Okay? It's love. It's Raphael. Here's Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing. And so right now, the healing isn't happening. It's becoming a problem. People are becoming addicted. They're suffering, and some are paying the ultimate, price for it. But look, some action happens in a legal way, in a governmental way, that changes all of it. So Knight of Swords, the Justice card. And so that gives me a lot of hope. So right now, no, it's not great. And I know some of you are living a nightmare because you have a loved one that's in this situation. But just know that things are going to get better. Okay? I wanted to look at Peru. So 17 are dead in the deadliest day of their anti-government protests. Peru, I'm so glad, because I wanted to go to Peru, go to Machu Picchu, and my guide said, no. And at the time that they were telling me no, everything was fine. Like there wasn't really that much going on. It would have been like, okay, for your typical tourist. And then we saw all the American tourists getting stuck there. And that's about the time I would have gone. So it's interesting. My guides, never mislead me. And so they have, for the first time ever, a female president. And I wrote down her name. It's Dina Boluarte. And she just started. She just started last month. And these people, they want the old president back. It's really a mess. They want to redo the Constitution and Congress. And so let's take a look at Peru. I think that they're going to have some tough times ahead of them. It will get stabilized in 2023 to some degree, but it's not going to happen right away. So if you're planning on going there, please be careful. Please be careful. Okay? I don't think this is a great time to go to much of South America. I actually will not be going to South America in 2023 based on what my guides said to me. So please be careful. I do think it's fine to go to Mexico and to go to the resorts. I think that's fine. But that's not South America, is it? Okay. Oh, this card's jumping out at me. Look at that. It's hanging out. Okay. So the first card that I get, that's just I just want to take a look here. I want to take out 4 cards. Okay. Okay. So there's a lot going on with Peru. So we start off with the Knight of Cups, and I feel like this is the new president. Here she is, coming up with some kind of a plan, trying to move people in the right direction, trying to help them. I always look at this cup as being full of opportunities, promises, wishes to come to be fulfilled. But right now, there's a certain portion of these people that are just not happy. And so things are not going great for them, is it? I mean, it's just a mess. And look at the obstacle, the card of poverty. The card, this is Five of Pentacles, the card of losing it all, losing your job, your money, your health. So that's what I'm saying. They're in for the long haul here. This is going to take months and months to get better. But then look, the card of victory and triumph, and the card of government pulling together. Because one of the meanings of 10 of Pentacles can mean big corporations, big government, things like that. And so it's going to stabilize. It's going to get better. But also, too, this is a very slow moving card, right? Pentacles are the slowest moving suit. And we get Pentacles twice. Cups is the next slowest. So when we look in terms of timing, this isn't a fast moving reading. I don't get that sort of feeling from it. So hang on. If you live there, if you have loved ones there, if you want to travel there, have some patience, be safe. There's going to be some turmoil coming. We're not done hearing about Peru, okay, for this year. Venezuela, so they're having issues with massive inflation, mass starvation, gosh, I mean, disease, crime. I mean, they are just suffering. The people of Venezuela are suffering. I mean, I heard that they were being told to even eat their pets. I mean, this is just awful, especially while, you know, their leaders are living in the lap of luxury. I mean, just so terrible. And I think that's one of the mistakes that China made, the Chinese government made with their people. They were letting people's pets die with this zero tolerance policy, keeping people locked up. People love their pets, right? I'm not the only person who loves my cats. And when I had a dog, I loved my dog. There are babies. You can't mess with them. End of story. So let's look at Venezuela in 2023. Let's see if it's going to get any better, because I've had a lot of you ask me, and I haven't had like a video where I really pulled all of South America to kind of together and looked at that. But I thought this was the right time. This is the right time. Okay. Okay. Oh, interesting. So the first card, you know, the Hierophant, he often talks about government, first of all, and anything official. Okay. So this is sort of like the government starting to pull it together this year. So that gives me a bit of hope. Okay. That gives me a bit of hope that he came up first. The challenge is indecisiveness. It's sort of like the leadership doesn't know what to do. You know, I mean, the Four of Cups, you know, he doesn't like what's in this cup, this cup, this cup. He doesn't like the one that's coming out of the sky. This guy, you can't please him. And so that's a problem, right? So they need to sit down, figure out what the problems are, and move forward. And isn't this interesting? I'm actually going to go out 3 cards here. So things start to get better financially. Something happens where, you know, they get some money from somewhere. Maybe the government just releases some of the money back to the people, right? They take a hold of the inflation situation. They're spending the taxes that's been collected or whatever, you know, they're putting it back into the people. So monetarily speaking, things are going to get better this year for them. And they also move forward. You know, I mean, the Chariot is great. And also, too, if you didn't see my last video, this is the card that represents this year, 2023. So this could very easily be Venezuela's turning point. They could start to come into their own this year. And then we get the Ace of Cups, a new emotional beginning, one where they're making new relationships with other countries, okay? Making new contracts, new agreements, new pacts, figuring out a way to get those resources into the people. But also, too, because the people, I'm sure, are saddened, depressed, anxious, to say the least, this will be a new emotional beginning for them. So that gives me a lot of hope with Venezuela. Okay. But let me see. These cards are the Chariot's the only one that has some speed to it. The rest, Cups are slow, Pentacles are slow, the Hierophant's slow. So I wouldn't go there for the next few months if I didn't have to. Okay. And if you have loved ones there, tell them to be safe, to be careful. And I just can't imagine what those people are going through. I really can't. Okay, Brazil. So as you know, they're having these massive protests, right? Oh, they stormed their capital, you know, where Congress meets. And they want the ex-president, Bolsonaro, to come to power again. This is like a Jan 6 all over again, but the Brazilian version of it. And now this ex-president is in Florida. I don't know if you know, but he's a big 45 fan, big 45 supporter. Kind of funny that he went to Florida. I think there's a pretty obvious reason why he chose that particular state. And here's the thing. Now he's in a hospital. He got stabbed at some point. I believe it was actually a few weeks ago. I don't think it was current, but there was complications, and now he's in an American hospital. And the new president, I heard that they're calling him Lula, but it's Luiz Lula da Silva. And, you know, he's sort of like how Biden was. He's kind of like in that position where he's, you know, being forced to condemn these acts because they're awful. And so let's see how Brazil is going to fare. I do see peace coming. Now, out of the 3 countries I just read, I feel like Brazil's going to pull it together faster than Peru and Venezuela. And I do feel like they're going to prosecute those people. Like they're going to take serious action against them. And rightfully so. Ah, beautiful. So the Star card, wishes and dreams coming true, things becoming more balanced, hope and faith being restored. And that's what I was seeing. Right now, though, their obstacle is they need to make some decisions. They really have to come up with a good game plan on what to do about this. I mean, this is just awful, right? This is an awful situation. But they need some sort of game plan of how they're going to move forward. Love it. Page of Swords. Now, this is a fast-moving card. There's going to be a lot of legalities coming up that we're going to hear about. They are going to go ahead and prosecute those people. Okay? They're going to hold them accountable. And as you know, I mean, there's been a lot of injured people. There's been deaths. You know, it's just tragic. But oh, and for those of you that asked me, you know, like, pages deliver messages. So why do you always say, like, it has something to do with a legal issue? Because what I'm leaving out of, like, the whole description is the message he is receiving or delivering, or, you know, however you want to word it. But his message is that there's going to be legal issues. He also talks about that there is a way that you can pave a new path for yourself, go on a new journey, start a new adventure, which is what I'm seeing for Brazil. And I like that they get the Lover's card. People coming back together. Peace and harmony being restored. So I feel good about Brazil. Out of the 3 countries, that's the one I feel is the most well off in terms of these difficulties. Okay. I know if you're living in Brazil right now, you're probably not feeling that way. I get it. Hang on. Okay. Just hang on. So let's see what angel wants to work with you. Let's leave this on a high vibe, on a good note. I have 3 different angels here. Here's the cards. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and which card calls to you? 1, 2, or 3. Don't think about it. Here we go. Card number 1 is Archangel Metatron. And Metatron saying to you, believe in yourself. Listen to your heart. Do what gives you joy. So follow your passion, right? Number 2, Archangel Gabriel. And Gabriel's saying, time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. So don't delay, get a wiggle on, and you will be rewarded for your hard work and efforts. And number 3 is Archangel Raziel. And he's saying to you, you can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So, you just want to make sure that you are setting your intentions. Okay. So if you pick number 3, set your intentions, make them crystal clear to Raziel and to the universe what you want. Okay. All right, everyone. It was a pleasure making this video, and I will see you all in a few days. Bye, everyone.